All right, welcome back to day 9 on this free to play account. Let's go ahead and just take a look at what's going on with the account and make a plan. All right, so I think one of the things I was pretty close to is upgrading this. I just need to cook a dish. Let's see if we're able to do that. Yep, energy is never a bad thing to cook. So we will get that upgrade working. I think with that, we're going to be able to upgrade some of the other things as well. So we'll send a ship out before we upgrade. So these little mini games, they don't impact you a whole lot, but they definitely offer some free resources. So I recommend taking advantage of them whenever possible. All right. So we're creeping up there. Let's go ahead and look at our Drake's Chasm rewards. We don't have the event anymore where we get 3 keys, but I was able, oh, that's actually super nice. That as well. I was able to push up to the second chest in Nightmare 3. All of these rewards are super useful at this point in the game. I would like some more dust though. That'll go right into Idril. All right. So before we can even think about it, we're going to go drop this into Idril. So yesterday we made some progress in Gear Raid 3, and I ground a lot of experience out leveling up characters. And what this did was it let us get our account level up. So you see we're 39. I think the goal for today, we're pretty close to 40. I want to push up to level 40 and start cracking into Void Rift. It's just another avenue to get free rewards. So I think I'm going to pause the video, just do some of the daily stuff and start pushing towards that. I think that will be the focus of today's content. So I will see you guys momentarily. So we're back. It didn't take too long to hit level 40. One of the things I did that was kind of interesting, and we'll see if it pays off, is we got these quests where we can get this flawless meteorite. We don't yet have a way to get this normally in our account. We're not able to push up an AMR that high. So we have a chance to craft something interesting. Chances are low, but we'll take it. So before we get started in Void Rift, we're going to go ahead and take our shot. We have 2 legendary forges. Almost anything here is good. That Keen Wisdom is amazing, just giving raw attack percentage to any of our characters, and Rex's Vow is totally reasonable for a tank at this point. One shot, let's see what we get. Nothing amazing, but every little bit helps. These are free stats if nothing else. All right, so we are going to take a shot at Void Rift. So we did get a mount here. This was part of the anniversary event, the Omen Lords. So I'm not sure if we're going to get Gleaming Meteorite in the lower levels of Void Rift, but it's still something interesting. So it won't, we have to do these in order. I'd be surprised if we could go above normal at this point anyway. But let's go ahead and get into Void Rift. So I think early Void Rift, the best thing that that happens is you get Olag, who is just an absolutely stellar tank. I think he's right here after that boss, so let's see how we do. It's a reasonable, we are well above that BP amount, so I don't anticipate us having any issues here. Although we may tweak the team to have 2 healers. I don't think we'll need 2 tanks. It's unfortunate we can't just go the next level of Void Rift, but it will force us to clear the first level. So, similar to when we did the prologue, this was one of the stages we had to do, so you can clearly tell these stages were designed with progression being closer to what it was when the game originally came out. So hitting an account level of 40, they expected you to have about 120k BP, and we have 3 times that amount. So just all of the free legendaries and account acceleration that's really necessary for the way this game has grown has made Void Rift significantly easier, although it is a great source of resources. We probably want to get Idril in here. I forgot we did cap her out and give her some good gear yesterday, so all right. Onward and upward. This is another great resource to get the crafting material for our artifacts, so that's something good as well. We may just try to run 1 healer, especially with low BP requirements. Our goal is really just to kill everything as fast as possible. All right. We'll play it straight. We don't have a second tank, but I don't imagine that will be an issue for us. Oh, took out our healer. That wasn't nice. We'll give ourselves a Diachan if nothing else. Put Hollow back in. All right, another pretty straightforward level. We didn't have to really mess with the mechanics with those skulls and how they impact your tanks if they get in the tile where the skull is. So yeah, this is the real prize of Void Rift Normal. Olog is just an absolute unit. You can use him well into the end game. While there are other legendary tanks, Olog can literally do everything a tank needs to do outside of like the PvP content, like GVG. He's even used in some high-end arena comps, although not at the very top end. So I think he will serve us well on this account for a long time, and I think he will unlock progress in Gear Raid 2. So Gear Raid 2 is really designed around your tanks and your healers. You really only need one DPS, and I think that's one of the reasons why it's interesting. Is a lot of the rest of the game is designed around just kill everything as fast as possible, and at least with Gear Raid 2, it's really surviving. We see some of this philosophy when you come to Abyss in having to build survivability. Even later game stages of AMR, it becomes kind of incredibly difficult where you have to build enough DPS to kill everything, but you need enough survivability. But I think Gear Raid 2 is an interesting balance where as long as you have one DPS that can kill stuff, all you have to do is survive. Although there's early game strategies around just rotating units in and out and avoiding the damage almost completely, especially when you get to the 19, 20, and 21. That really requires a Volca A1, which I think you'll need to be like, it's a little after a month, somewhere between day 30 and 35. So we should be getting Volca, I believe, day 18 or 19. You are somewhat gated by needing to do a certain level of Tide, and you can only go up 3 levels a day in Tide. So that is one of those kind of artificial gateways to progress. So this is pretty chill content for today. I think we have good progress lined up in front of us in terms of what we can look forward to. We have that Sang Wukong banner coming on Friday. We may wait until Saturday to pull just because there's also one of the beginner banners is Silas and Vierna, and we have a shot at pulling a Vierna, which would effectively double Silas's damage when he's in his ultimate, which is most of his damage in the end game at least. So I think that will be a strong consideration as well. Like we talked about in the epilogue, we're just kind of creating a kill box here. Most things will get funneled here. I think they do have either a reduced healing or an anti-healing. Well, yeah, so they don't take as much healing here. But that's okay. This is a pretty low BP requirement, so I don't anticipate that being a problem. Need a fast forward button here. And speaking of looking to the future, it looks like we'll get an Assassin's Creed collab towards the end of the month. So for a new account, we probably won't have the Ancients to guarantee. There's been talk about a potential guaranteed Ancient Legendary at like 90 pulls or something. They did that with the Dracula banner. And we probably won't be able to do that on a new account, although you never know. But there usually will be a guaranteed, similar to this Sun Wukong banner, a guaranteed legendary for 200 pulls, which would potentially progress our account a lot. We also will probably get a guaranteed login champion, similar to Aurelius Gale, which has been such a big boon for this account. So I think even if you can't hit those endgame ancient targets, which is unfortunate, but they're designed to make you want to spend some money to get them. But even if you can't hit that, you still have the option to get some really solid units. So I think it is a great opportunity. All right, so once again, we're setting our kill box up here. The one kind of twist to this level is there's units that come around the sides. We will probably be able to just kill him with these characters, but we will run this as if we're taking it seriously, meaning we can set up DPS on these corners to take care of them so they don't interfere. As if the BP was closer to what we would expect to our own, then the danger is these units on the sides can overrun you while you're getting a large amount of units in, and you only really have one tank set up. So you can also put a melee here, but I think this will be a sufficient setup for what we're doing. And those mages are really the biggest danger. These other ones don't pose a lot of threat, but these mages here are what are going to be what kills you. They put that reduced healing, I believe, on targets. And we could look at the... If you ever want to look, you can look at the monster manual here. So they have high magic resistance, so you want to use physical against them. They can devour the souls on the ground to restore HP and increase attack. So that's why on that other level they gobbled up some souls and were able to one-shot a character that we wouldn't normally expect them to. So as much as I'm the absolute worst at reading the level descriptions, those are a good way for you if you're running up against something and saying, why do I keep dying? Something is just killing me. And that's a good way to understand what's going on, is just go look at the monster manual, go look at the information on the level, and you can usually get an understanding of what's going on. All right, so we're at the first boss. I think this should be fairly straightforward. We'll use Silas to just burn down the boss when it comes out here. And we'll use Idril to tank the enemies. I mean to pick off the enemies. So we have our tank rocks here. Sometimes you'll need to put a tank up here because there's a caster that comes here and down, but we probably have the damage to just kill it before it becomes an issue. Silas makes short work of the boss. Once he's down, we can pick Silas up. Oh, yeah, we might have an issue here. Rocks can help us out a little bit. We're going to drop our healer. And we just want to stabilize and recover. Oh, that was the wrong one. I wanted to put in Corbin. Just to try to pick this guy off before he becomes a problem. He ate some of these souls on the ground. He was hitting our physical DPS here pretty hard. If we did have a tank in there, it wouldn't be an issue, but we were just kind of running lean and going solo tank. For most of these levels, our goal is just to kill everything as quick as possible and get through the level. So just activating Idril there to finish them off. At A5, Idril gets a really useful ability where whenever she kills something, she extends her ultimate up to a certain point, which is super nice for killing waves of enemies. That might be one way that we can make progress in Gear Raid 3. Although I think if we're able to level up Brienne, we ran out of fodder and stamina to grind experience potions, but once we're able to get that going, I think we should make some progress there. I think tomorrow we will have another tournament, and that will be for Gear Raid 3. And especially during that tournament, we would like to push up to 18 at a minimum. Ideally more, but I think 18 might be a good place. 19 gets the mechanics completely change, so in some ways that might be helpful for us because there was like 61 enemies that you had to kill, I believe, when we were working on it yesterday, but there's significantly less, maybe even 1/3 that amount when we're doing it at 19. But the mechanics are a little bit more difficult too. We will need a dedicated AoE on the left side, and then ideally something that I don't know, you might need something hidden, so they're on the right side. We can probably use Idril initially to pick them off, but there's an enemy that spawns right on top of where you can place your units. So if you don't have some way to keep them alive, whether that's through invisibility or other means, it feels like they've changed the units we have available. I need to look at the lineup because we had Idril and Corvin when we were doing the last level. We do not have them. We also had Hollow, but we didn't have Pharisee. So I think it defaulted back to what we were looking at when we started. All right, so I think we talked a little bit on the prologue video, but essentially here they're trying to force you to deal with multiple lanes. So they want you to have some AoE down here to deal with the reviving skeletons, and then just be able to double block or kill things before they get through up here. These guys are pretty beefy, so we will use the Silassault once the second group gets a little closer, and that should handle them pretty handily. They were smacking Numeria a little bit, but we had Elysia behind her as an additional meat shield. All right, so we want to go back and adjust our lineup to what it was previously. I think we'll go like this. I think in this level, it wants you to deal with the top lane and a bottom lane. We're able to get a healer to help with that tank. These tentacles, ideally you'll have another DPS to cover your DPS so they can... Okay, we only have one lane here, so these two DPS can cover each other for tentacles, and then we can just double stack our melee down here to deal with this. And we've set it up so literally every DPS here is going to be able to get Diao Chen's inspiration once she is able to swap over. There's also tentacle spawn points here, here, and here, I believe. So I think they're covered by the DPS. If not, we do have Idril and Corvin can pick things off out of range. It'd be funny if you could kill the boss and it would end the phase, because I believe he's the boss at the end of this chapter of Void Rift. So if you could kill him before, would that end the whole phase? Obviously not, but it would be funny. Yeah, so we got picked off there. We didn't have anything covering that tentacle. And we got caught out. It was slamming us, so can't ignore the mechanics. We'll see if we can pick off the boss so we stop getting those tentacles. He is down. I don't know if that will stop the tentacles from coming in. We do need to get some melee down so we can... We don't want to lose... In higher levels of Void Rift, if anything gets to core, the level's over. Here, thankfully, they give you one freebie, and it doesn't impact your quote-unquote 3-star clears, so that is fortunate. Making good progress. I think these are kind of the gimme levels. I think we might have one more true level, and then we'll get into the boss. And once again, it seems like they messed with our lineup that we had from the last level, although I don't anticipate it being a problem. With these kind of gold raid levels, you get 10 mobs that can sneak through and still get the... You can have 9 sneak through and still get the clearance. I don't anticipate we will, but like I said, these are kind of gimme levels. It's like, okay, you got this far, collect your reward if you can do the very basic thing. All right, so should be one more wave coming in, and we will be heading onward and upward. All right. We might need to bring a second tank in. These guys just hit really hard. We were able to actually clear him, but we might need to. Okay. And similar to the prior level, they want somebody with AoE down here to be able to clear. And we're going to put Diao-chan up there just to help, especially kill those beefier ones. And we'll put Numera here to help clear this tentacle out. We'll put Corbin here. We have a slot. We don't have a healer here for him. So hopefully he'll be able to survive till the end. We might just try to put some pressure on this boss. If we can kill him, I don't wonder if the tentacles will stop spawning. We're going to use our ults here to try to avoid her getting clapped down. Oof. All right. So now we get to fight him for realsies this time. And go here. We'll set up similar to the other level. I think we just have to be mindful of the tentacles and we shouldn't have a problem. So we continue to stubbornly do this the wrong way, but we will probably mostly struggle with when the beefier tank-like guys come for Numera. I'm hopeful that we'll be able to disperse them down before it's an issue. We didn't quite have enough cost to place our Aurelius out here for these skellies when he first came out. When they first came out, but I don't think it will be an issue for us. It looks like they multiply every time they revive, but we have enough DPS over there that I think they will get burned down. The real issue right here is going to be, oh, we leaked one. Can we finish him off before he kills Numera? It looks like the answer was no, but we have Elysia as a backup. We have this tentacle in the back, and we don't have Corvin. Or we need to put... Oh. Yeah, that's not going to be good. I'm curious if we can recover from this. Mostly the question will be, will things come back around quick enough? We do have Aurelius for this now. I'm gonna... And Aurelius caught the tentacle because he was out there. Yeah, we're gonna have to restart this. So we just need to be mindful of those tentacles. So I think the one that got us was back here. I'm not so worried about this one on Silas. He's in healer range, so he should be fine until it naturally breaks. I think what we might do is place Idril facing back, and she can cover that tentacle as well as put some damage here. We lose a little bit of damage on the boss. I mean on the chunky guys as they come in, but okay. We got Aurelius down here. He should get his ultimate and be able to clear them before they become an issue. And then we'll just pick him back up. We're going to put Corvin down here to cover this tentacle. And we should have enough for Diao here to offer healing and some inspiration. So these are the guys on Numera I'm mostly worried about. We have Elysia as a backup. We do need... we'll pop Corvin's ult. Pop all the ults. Try to kill him. Yep. The good old philosophy of kill before you're getting killed. Okay, so Idra was able to help out with this tentacle and avoid the problem that we had last time that killed everyone. So once again, and Aurelius can go here and deal with these. I think these guys have high magic resistance because they didn't take much damage from that. And I think the boss will be coming in now. And we should be able to finish him pretty quickly with Silas. We'll pop all the ults. Oh, we didn't even get a chance to use that one. All right, so phase 2 of normal Void Rift is down. One more phase to go. I had originally thought about breaking these phases into multiple videos, but they're not posing a huge amount of challenge, so I think that would just create something unnecessarily repetitive. Although I don't know how many people will sit through this whole 40-50 minute video. It's okay. All right, so at least here they didn't set us up with a team. They just said, rebuild the team you've keep building. I think we will start running double tanks just because there is definitely some instances where we were we were we were doing things the hard way unnecessarily, and we'll probably put some gear on her. We're not gonna go too quick into it, but we'll just quick equip. Oh, I got that nice piece. We should probably put that on somebody else. Silas has good gear. Probably Idril. So we did pick up this piece yesterday from the event. So super nice quad. We'll use it forever. We actually have some Darkfall gems, although I'm not going to use 200,000 gold right now to use them. They're just too expensive for a new account to use. And we will actually go and quick equip. We also had some artifacts we can put on. So he has an artifact there. We will give Rex the other tanking artifact we picked up. We'll give some free stats to Numera off of this artifact. And we will give Idril the Keen Wisdom, I believe. Long term, we'll crunch it into Diao's, but just any free stats are nice. It looks like normal Void Rift, until we did a little bit of upgrading there, was actually showing us as hard. So we'll probably run into some more real challenges here. Okay. And I think these mobs get petrified, but they still utilize your block. And so I think the danger with them is when all those dogs came through, if you didn't zerg them down, you would end up having things leak through. So we'll have Corbin and Idril be able to pick stuff off and help to freeze them or petrify them before they utilize your block, kind of mitigating the problem that they cause. I remember back in the day, this is the Lyseer phase of Void Rift, and Nightmare Void Rift was a pretty end game content. So we are right on the edge of the BP requirements. So interestingly, the first two phases of Void Rift were pretty straightforward, but this one seems more designed to be on level with what we would expect. I'm curious if we can get away with a DPS to block this lane. I seem to remember it was more casters here, and we will need someone to deal with this as well. Okay, should be able to cover everyone there with the healer. And put Corbin here to help out. We'll pop Corbin's ult to clear some stuff. Looks like we have this under control as well. Corbin is helping out here. As much as I dogged on him, he has an interesting mechanic. He just, for Gear Raid 3, for being level 60 with, he didn't seem to hit hard enough. But being able to hit additional targets, he does great. We have 2 more units we can deploy, but I'm just kind of holding them in reserve in case I forgot some part of how this content works. I'd like to be able to bail myself out. These guys hit pretty hard, so we're going to use the Silas ult here just to blast them away. Okay, so pretty straightforward here. We had the guy out there that was frozen. Okay, not too bad. So we're definitely getting towards the end of Void Rift. I think we have one more real fight, probably one of those Goblin Gold fights, and then we'll do the Lasir, the last boss of this phase of Void Rift. So I believe we have 2 spawners here that will spawn these guys, so oh, 3. I want to get Idril down. If we can get things under control, we can pop her ultimate and try to deal with those so we don't keep getting spammed. Although her ultimate will probably focus on the ones coming down. We'll drop some AoE damage here with Gaius. I think we'll put Corbin here to try to help control some of these. I'm not sure exactly how wise that's going to be, but... And then we have dogs that come around this side. Pop Corbin's ult. Okay, we don't have any real healer down, but I feel like this level is more about getting overrun than healing. Although we'll keep an eye on our tanks, and if we need to, we can swap somebody out for a healer. Numera just to keep that dog at bay. I think he might be able to kill Numera and get through here if we let him get close enough. Okay, Corbin doing work, helping to plink some of these guys down. They're going to put some damage out, so we might also need some healing to deal with them. These slimes combine, so we're going to use the Silas ult there. He's getting kind of plunked down. If he dies, we will put Hollow in his place to help with healing. It looks like we're able to control it, although it's definitely starting to get a little sketchy there. I'm going to fix this team a little bit. Some of these guys are just unnecessary. And we'll just roll ults here. It did mark this as a hard BP check, but I don't anticipate this being a problem. So, I don't know. Let me know how you guys are going. Let me know if you did work on Void Rift or are you still progressing. How's that going? Are you stuck on a certain level, a certain difficulty? What are your plans? Do you need some advice on how to progress? Happy to offer you some feedback. All right, so it looks like we're wrapping things up here. We can get to the last boss of this phase. All right, so it says we're technically in danger range for BP. Let's give it a go and see how things go, though. This may be a little bit more challenging. Need a tank here. This is where we might want to develop our Olog just because he does self-healing here. So he's able to help keep the tank up so we can drop more DPS. Although I think we're going to be able to get hollowed down before it's an issue. I think we're going to put Corv in there as well. Seem to be having a bit of a challenge. We'll put Rex here to kind of break that up. And we will drop Numeria in here to block the slimes from being able to get in. We had one leak, but we can get away with one. We're going to drop Silas in here. And we will put Diao-Chan to help support with healing. We will probably... Someone died. Rex died. Uh-oh. Let's see. Yeah, we're going to need to change this up a little bit. Okay. I think we'll need to develop Olog. I think that is okay, since we want to use him everywhere anyways. We may need to change who we have on DPS on the right side as well, though. All right, I am going to pause the video, develop Olog, try to get him to level 50 at least. Then I'll come back and we'll continue push on that boss. All right, so we are back. I think one of the other issues that kind of bit us there was a lack of healing. So I think we will run a second healer as well. We need someone to tank the slimes. We need 2 tanks in general. I think we will probably drop him. His cost is high. Let's see if this gets us there. Okay, Olog here. And we're going to put probably one of our strongest DPS, Silas, to help hold this lane down. And that self-shielding from Olog is just so handy. I'm going to put rocks here. And we're just going to drop Silas's ult to clear all of this out. And not having all those slimes is just going to prevent us from getting overrun like we did last time. And we'll put Diao-Chen here. She can help healing. Lasir puts out a pretty heavy AoE as he's walking up. And once he gets closer, we'll be able to switch her and try to burn the boss down pretty quick. So right here's his heavier AoE. Oh, killed Diao, so that's okay. We're going to drop our other healer here and just try to burn the boss down. As long as the boss dies, I don't anticipate having any issues. Our Silas did go down, but that's okay. That should be the boss. We'll just need to keep him from getting overrun. Corvin has his ult. I think we can drop our second healer there. And we'll put him there. With Silas coming back up, I think we can hold down that. Okay. Numeira is getting pressured a little bit, but it looks like things are coming under control. We do have some big boys building up here. Hopefully we can burn them down. We're going to use Silas's ult to try to clear up these slimes. Okay, it looks like everything is back under control. As long as these slimes don't get too out of control here. It looks like Corvin helped to ping that one down, which will avoid us getting too many of the big boys. We'll use Numeira to stop that from coming in here. Alright, so that looks like that is a Void Rift normal complete. Day 8 on this new free-to-play account. Let's go ahead and collect our rewards, see if we get anything too interesting. Alright. We will claim all of this. So we'll get another craft here. That's a flat stat, so we won't use that. Crit rate, won't use that. Flat stat, won't use that. So, you know, one summon crystal, some diamonds, a little bit of energy. Definitely the beginnings of useful. Although the higher levels of Void Rift is where it gets a lot better. We also, the first time we do this, these are probably better than the rewards for doing the level. We got a summon there. We get an ancient here. That's big, as well as a rare. And we get North Judgment. Any artifact is good right now, although that one's not that great. And we get an Ascension material. So all in all, I think that's very successful. Thank you guys for hanging out. We're going to go ahead and end the video. If you have any comments or tell me about how Void Rift is going for you, like, comment, and subscribe. Have a good day.